Hello everyone, I am Krooked and I do stuff, and this is Unscripted, the series where I take a completely unscripted look at games and give it a 1 through 10 rating. Today we are playing King of the Monsters. As I said in my Godzilla video, this is a good game. Or at least I remember it being a good game. Sorry. Unlike Godzilla Destruction, I enjoy this game. Godzilla Destruction really only had a really attractive anime girl between levels, and that's about all I had going for it. This has Captain America fighting not Godzilla. So, this was an arcade game. I'm assuming the reason it has not Godzilla there is because of rights issues, which was common at the time. And, yeah, so came out in the arcade and then got a Super Nintendo port. And, it's a little bit slower than the, arcade version, but I like this game. So you can get these, power-ups out of your opponents by basically squeezing it out of them, which is what this guy did to me. And, yeah, it lets you power up. There's like 3 different forms for everyone, and hopefully I'll get one in this review. If not, then I'll tell you what it looks like. So, no! No! I'm really bad. Controls. This game controls pretty well. Y punches, B kicks, A runs, and X jumps. I don't know what L and R do. I don't think they do anything. But yeah, so you trade blows with other monsters. You basically just beat up other monsters. That was really weird how that all turned out. That was a weird battle. And you have to beat them up, do stuff like that, throw them around, and you basically try to prove that you are king of the monsters. I want that, but I can't get it. Whoops. After you beat each level, you know, you kind of move on to the next one. It's always more monsters, and you do more monster beaty-uppy stuff. This is so weird. This is the second time this has happened, and it's like never happened to me in all the times I've played this game before. Also, I don't know why the time isn't running. I seem to remember there's something with that. It's weird. Oh, and you can charge up attacks like that. I don't know how I did that. I just held Y and B, and it did that. But yeah, so you can charge up attacks like this. Shoot that. Yeah, what up? Let me give you that armpit sweat. It sounds good. It looks like the arcade. Maybe not as detailed and stuff, but it still looks like the arcade version. Oh, I remember why his health is... So after their health is low, you have to pin them by jumping on them. And, yeah, they get to try to kick out. It's kind of like the best of wrestling and Godzilla stuff, because it has all these monsters and you get to just Godzilla them to death. I think in the later versions it's much easier to like level up the powers, but I'm gonna try to get that leveled up here. So graphics wise, I mean, it looks very similar to the arcade version. Controls, they're pretty solid, even though it's a little slow, which I would say is probably its biggest offender, is that the controls are slow. You can get around that, though, without too much of a problem. And it controls well for what it is. It's responsive, other than it feels like you're driving a tank. But it does what you want it to do pretty much every time you want it to do something. Yeah! Squeeze! Got my pea juice out of him. I'm gonna keep doing that if I can. There's like certain controls, like I can pick him up each time. And if I do it again, here we go. I have now leveled up. So now I'm green. Yeah, big green. Come on, big green. And that made my actual power be a bit more impressive, because now it can do that and has a lot more to it. I think you can power up twice for each character. You generally don't need to do that though, and once you jump on them, which is not letting me do. Wah! Okay. Come on! Oh, man. So, I was just talking about how the controls are pretty good and let you do what you want to do when you want to do them. And then it just didn't let me do what I wanted it to do. So, that's always fun. So, I guess you have to get it pretty pixel perfect, or... I don't know why it's not letting me actually grab, or actually pin him. Maybe I need to be closer to, like, his head? I don't know. So, it does have some frustration points. That being said, the game looks good. It plays pretty well. And, the sound, I mean, it sounds like what you would kind of expect a monster game to sound like. It has a pretty good music soundtrack. It sounds all mysterious and kind of monstery. It's lacking a little bit in, like, special powers that you can throw at things having sound. Oh, there we go. Yeah, oh. I was hoping I'd get him that time. So I think you actually just have to push L to pin him. Nope. Okay, so it's like L or R, and then you hit Y, and that lets you pin him. So once you figure it out, I mean, it's pretty solid. You might also have to push buttons to keep them pinned. I'm not entirely sure. Also, once you're powered up, you don't need to, like, collect power-ups as much. Yeah, so if you push buttons, you get to pin them for longer. And it goes through a 3 count. And once you get to the 3 count, you've beaten the monster, and you move on to the next level. Yeah, get it. Got him. Astro Guy, that's his name. He's not Captain America, although he looks kind of like Captain America. And then, you know, has this kind of, whoa, scary noise kind of sound thing going again. Overall, though, I have more fun playing this than I had playing Godzilla Destruction, just because Godzilla Destruction was this without the pins of the 3 counts, no ways to power up, really. It just wasn't as good. It felt like a bad version of this. Oh, and I apparently keep my power going to the next level. Which, that makes it a little bit easier to fight the other monsters, when you can basically go at them with all the strength he had from the last one, except they have more health this time. If you notice, he has a green health bar. I have a yellow health bar, just like the last monster. So, it has a lot of good to it, besides all of the getting used to it, getting around the things. And overall, for a rating for this, it's way easier to give this a good rating than it is Godzilla, because this game has a bit more replayability, especially because you want to see what all the monsters look like when they're upgraded. It has a really good 2-player mode in it. Overall, it's a fun game. It's a little dated, and I think that the sequel is probably better. I don't know. I haven't played it in a while, but I think that might be coming up soon on Unscripted. And yeah, it's just a fun time. So overall, for King of the Monsters, because it's still not perfect and it does have its problems, but it's a fun game, I'm going to go ahead and give it a 6 out of 10. It could be better. It has some weak points, but it's a fun game. If you're into kaiju stuff at all, you're going to love it. If you're not, you're not. You're going to probably be like, what am I playing and why am I playing this? But it's still a fun game. Fun series. I wish they'd bring it back. They did have a kind of spiritual successor kind of sequel that came out in the 2010s, but it's not good at all, and it should be avoided like the plague, because it's really bad. I'm also gonna try to get him all upgraded. Yeah. Oh. Wow, that was spiffy. So yeah, if you like kaiju stuff, go ahead and give this video a like. Hit that subscribe button so that way you never miss out on an episode of Unscripted, and hit that notification bell so that way you'll be notified whenever a new episode comes out. Other than that, go ahead and comment down below and let me know what your favorite kaiju monster is, or what your favorite kaiju monster game is. And with all that being said and done, I do want to thank you for watching Unscripted, and I will see you on the next episode. Bye!